Hi guys, welcome back. In the previous session, we understood about layout managers, flow layout as well as border layout. Let's try to understand about grid layout. This is one of the important topic in AWT as well as in Sinks. Now, what is my requirement is I want to create 9 buttons, 3 buttons as a part of first row, 3 buttons as a part of second row, and 3 buttons as a part of third row. Now, just see here, it's looking like a grid. Now, our calculator in our mobile calculator, our mobile phone dialer keypad looks this quite similar. This is called as grid layout. మీరు చూడండి అండి, మన మొబైల్లో క్యాలిక్యులేటర్ కావచ్చు, మన ల్యాప్టాప్ క్యాలిక్యులేటర్ కావచ్చు, మన మొబైల్లో కీప్యాడ్ డయల్ ప్యాడ్ కావచ్చు, ఇలా గ్రిడ్ లేఅవుట్ లో ఉంటుందండి. ఇలాంటి లేఅవుట్ ని గ్రిడ్ లేఅవుట్ అంటాం. దట్ మీన్స్ విచ్ ఇస్ కంబైన్డ్ ఆర్ విచ్ ఇస్ షోన్ ఇన్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ రోస్ అండ్ కాలమ్స్. నా ప్రోగ్రామ్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏంటంటే అండి, ఐ వాంట్ టు టేక్ 9 buttons. But in the first button, I want to label it as 1, second button value 2 and 3 and so on. First 3 buttons should be placed on the row 1, row 2 and row 3. This is my matrix is 3 rows, 3 columns. For this type of grid, we need to use the grid layout manager. Grid layout manager. This is a implemented class of layout manager which is defined in java.awt package. Let's see the scenario here. Now, how many components we need to create here? What is the requirement? First, we need to create the frame object. Second, we need to create the required components. How many components are required? 9 components. And add the components to the frame object using grid layout. We need to set the layout for grid. Now here also in this program also we are not triggering any events. So there is no need to handle the handlers. అంటే ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో కూడా మనం ఈవెంట్స్ ఏమి హ్యాండిల్ చేయట్లేదు కాబట్టి లిజనర్స్ అండ్ హ్యాండ్లర్స్ రాయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. 3 steps అండి. ఫస్ట్ ఫ్రేమ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. సెకండ్, రిక్వైర్డ్ కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఏంటండి ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో 9 buttons క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. ఏ లేఅవుట్ లో సెట్ చేయాలి? గ్రిడ్ లేఅవుట్ లో. తర్వాత థర్డ్ స్టెప్, add the components to the frame object. Now let's try to see this program. Just see here. Now our class name is MyGridLayout. Extends JFrame. First step is completed, guys. Now I created the frame object. Now, since our class name is MyGridLayout, I have created a constructor as MyGridLayout. Method name and class name is same. This we call it as constructor. Now, how many buttons I created? Just check here. JButton 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For the first button, I've given the label as 1. Same as per our diagram. Just here. First button value is 1, second button value is 2 and 3. You may get it out. What is these values, sir? These values are visible to the user. These are component reference variable names which are not visible to the user. ఇప్పుడు యూజర్ కి B1 B2 అని కనిపించదండి. B1 B2 అని దిస్ B1 అనేది దీనికి రెఫరెన్స్ నేమ్, దీనికి రెఫరెన్స్ నేమ్ B2, దీనికి రెఫరెన్స్ నేమ్ B3. బట్ 1 2 3 అనేది వాల్యూస్ అండ్ విచ్ ఆర్ విజిబుల్ టు ద యూజర్ ఆన్ ద JFrame ఆబ్జెక్ట్. Now, how many buttons are created? 9 buttons. And now set layout, I'm using a method set s small set layout of new grid layout of 3 comma 3. What do you mean by 3 comma 3? 3 sir, 3 rows, 3 columns. Just see here. First 3 buttons, row 1, row 2, row 3. Just see here. 3 rows, 3 columns. Now, first step, we have created the frame object. We added the buttons to the frame. Sorry, we created the required buttons. 2 steps completed. I repeat again. We have created the frame object. Second step, we created the required buttons. And of course, we set the layout. And the third step, we are adding the buttons to the frame object. Very simple. Add up B1, add up B2, add up B3, and so on. How many buttons I added? 9 buttons. And windows size we need to keep in a mind. Now, this is the width is 300 and our height is 300. Now, since the JFrame object is invisible, I'm trying to make as visible, set visible of true. And since our class name is MyGridLayout, in the main method, I'm creating an object, MyGridLayout. My is equal new of MyGridLayout. This new operator is going to call the constructor. Constructor is going to create the 9 buttons, first frame object. Then it's going to create the 9 buttons, and the 9 buttons are added to the frame object in the form of grid layout, in the form of rows and columns. 3 rows and 3 columns. Just check here, guys. Java C my grid layout dot java and hit the enter key and run the file as java space my grid layout. Just check the output. Just see here. this we got the JFrame object with 3 rows and 3 columns. Thank you so much. We shall meet with a new video. Thank you.